has served with distinction in the fields of politics, law, and the trade union movement. Dame Janet Bostwick is a trailblazer. First female president of the Bar Association, first woman elected to the Bahamas Parliament, and first female Attorney General. Thursday, 8 p.m., tune in to the ZNS Network as she is honored at a luncheon held by the Commonwealth Women Parliamentary Association, the Bahamas branch, on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of being elected to Parliament. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the wife of the Prime Minister lending her voice to the issue of the empowerment of women at COGIM 2022 in Rwanda. The Port Authority taking their Talk Business Expo to the community. And traffic police addressing road safety concerns among young drivers. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, the spouse of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, lending her voice to the empowerment of women and creating awareness on violence against women. The topic, a major focus during the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting this week. In an exclusive interview with our Shashina Rowe-Farquharson in Kigali, Rwanda, she discussed ways to continue the fight for women's rights.
The theme for today was no more, putting up your hand and saying no more.
The wife of the Prime Minister, as well as many others, attending a high-level side event on violence against women and girls. The session attracting a large audience.
The room was full of men for the first time today. So the interest, the global interest has peaked by the presence of all those men there who are leaders in their countries and who have decided that they're going to step up in the fight against domestic violence. No longer are we just accompanying our husbands. They have programs for the spouses because women issues are front and foremost in every country in the world. The elevation of the woman and especially where we're working towards sustainable development goal number 5, which is gender equality. Here, they keep teaching you that gender equality is not women taking over. Gender equality is both men and women being uplifted.
But she says the discussions also provide solutions on how women can be given a seat at the table and be provided more opportunities in entrepreneurship.
Because we still have we don't have enough women in businesses. We have, even if they're in businesses, they have the smaller businesses like micro-type businesses. We wanted to see more. We want our governments to give women 50% of the funding to increase the participation in businesses. I think here in Rwanda, they gave women, one of the ways they elevated women is by giving them collateral-free loans.
Rwanda, the country where CHOGM 2022 is being held, is #1 in the world with the highest percentage of women in government.
Here in Rwanda, played a very pivotal role in this country turning around after the genocide that they suffered in 1994. I pay tribute to the First Lady of Rwanda and her policies and her programs, and and making sure a lot more women come in to governing the country.
And while the Bahamas has made history recently with the most women ever being appointed as cabinet ministers under the Davis administration, First Lady Davis calls it a proud moment, but she says we still have a lot of work to do. Reporting from Kigali, Rwanda, I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson.
Well, thanks, Shashina. The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas signing an historic contract in the Turks and Caicos today. The agreement signed with Flow TV will allow the TV provider to carry the ZNS network on their cable system. Stay tuned for more details during the Bahamas Tonight at 7 p.m. In other news, should Bahamians be concerned about a possible recession in the near future? Well, ZNS News team spoke to prominent financial executive Garwin Bowe, who said that could be possible. Our Simone Davis joins us live in studio now to explain the pros and cons of a possible recession.
While economists in the United States of America are predicting a possible recession in the near future, Group CEO at Fidelity Bank Garwin Bowe says it is likely that the Bahamas could follow suit. However, he explains the main concern in this situation is how reduced U.S. consumer spending could impact tourism in the Bahamas.
The reason why a recession in the U.S. could lead to a recession in the Bahamas is because our greatest GDP producer is tourism. And if tourism takes a hit because of the U.S., then yes, there's always that risk that we would face a recession in the Bahamas.
Last week, the United States Federal Reserve raised interest rates by 0.75%. The financial executive says if this leads to an induced recession to control prices and spending in the U.S., it is possible that the Bahamas could benefit from it. Here's how.
We may benefit from the lower prices of goods that we import, so therefore the cost of living to the average Bahamian is reduced. But at the flip side, if we reduce the revenues we intake, your take-home pay may be reduced as well.
Bowe says it is important for Bahamians to be mindful of what happens in other countries, especially those we rely on for tourism, and learn how to pivot when situations arise that are out of our control.
So we're in these circumstances where we're saying that the price inflation is debilitating. But we have to ask ourselves, do we want an expanding economy that is a little more costly to me and so therefore is requiring me to make more difficult decisions in terms of what I spend on, or do we want an economy that is slower, that may be less income in my pocket?
Amid concerns of a surge in price inflation, Bowe states that Bahamians should expect to see prices consistently soaring for the next few months, noting that since our economy relies heavily on U.S. consumers, there's nothing much we can do about it.
If the question more is, do we expect elevated prices for a few more months? The answer is yes, because prices won't revert immediately. But I think when you see the additional cost of borrowing to the U.S. consumer and their contraction in their spend, that is going to have a benefit to our prices before the end of the year if it follows through. But like I said, if you think about it, the U.S. is not managing their economy for the Bahamas. They're managing their economy for themselves.
Now, although fears of a recession could create a dark outlook for Bahamians, Bahamian financial experts are optimistic while urging residents to practice controlled spending habits. Live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, thanks, Simone. Officials from the Grand Bahama Port Authority says several new investments are on the horizon for Grand Bahama. Officials will be providing updates on those upcoming projects in the coming days during the Port Community Talk. Business Review Expo, as Shane Stubbs tells us, it will serve as a forum to discuss business opportunities that could be provided for Grand Bahamians.
The Business Review Expo will give local residents the opportunity to hear about upcoming investment opportunities and provide updates on the $1 billion worth of projects slated for the island. The expo takes place on June 28th at 6:30 p.m. at City of Life. GBPA President Ian Rose shedding some light on what projects are in the works.
Bahamas Distillery Company. It's a rum distillery company. That company has approval from the Port Authority. It has chosen its site and is currently now installing equipment, so that should be operational by the end of next month. We have a solar power plant. Again, the Port Authority has approved the license for it and blessed the project. Right now, IDB also approved the funding for the project, and we're waiting now a power purchase agreement. to be completed between themselves and the power company, and then the regulator will look at the power purchase agreement. Most persons have seen some work being done in the downtown area. So we have a new major food store coming there, and then government offices in the downtown area. And that project will probably be close to about $10 million. And then we have some other things happening, but I'm not going to say all at this moment. I would encourage everybody to come out.
The GBPA has had its share of backlash from the general public, and since then, the entity has been doing all they can to be more transparent with the general public. Rule indicates that events like the upcoming expo helps in that mission.
And as a result of being more transparent to the public, having this business expo event, I think it has done a tremendous job in terms of building relationships with the public. The previous group really support what we're doing. It was a misunderstanding in regards to what we were doing. And again, a lot of that is on us. But we have to continuously be out there informing the public and engaging, and that's what we plan to do.
The forum will also give persons the opportunity to be advised by local banks and other business resource specialists. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, thanks, Shane. H.G. Christie, a real estate company that has gained a reputation for excellence in the industry, now has a new branch on Grand Bahama. The company is celebrating its 100th anniversary, and in celebration of this milestone, has opened a brand new office in the Port Lacaya Marketplace, a move that is preparing the company for what Christie predicts is another exciting time for the real estate industry on Grand Bahama. The company believes that with major projects in the pipeline for Grand Bahama Island, the opening of the Port Lacaya office represents a strategic move to position H.D. Christie to take advantage of these developments. Well, road safety and defensive driving among the youth are now becoming an issue. This after a traffic accident in Abaco this week that claimed the life of a young woman who had just graduated from high school. The country's latest traffic fatality in Abaco prompting the officer in charge of the Road Traffic Department, Chief Superintendent of Police, Alfonso Pinder, to address a number of road safety concerns. The country's latest traffic fatality victim has been identified by family members as 17-year-old Sheena Thurville. The teenager, whose life was cut short weeks after graduating high school, was reportedly traveling on George Aubrey Boulevard when she lost control of her vehicle. Now, although each year around the month of June, there is an increase in the number of teenage drivers, the superintendent says there isn't an increase in the traffic mishaps.
Around the June month, yes, we do know it's around the graduation period, but we don't have, it's not normal to have accident involving young people during this time as drivers, but more of pedestrian, where you find kids are out of school and they tend to linger more in the public atmosphere, like in public streets and so forth. But as for drivers, no, we don't have that many accidents involving young people driving on the streets.
As excited as some teenagers may be to get behind the wheel of a vehicle, Pinder says it can also be dangerous.
Driving carries a very awesome responsibility. When you get behind the wheel of a car, you automatically resume responsibility for that vehicle. The vehicle might belong to me, but when you sit behind the wheel of that car, anything that happens once you are in that vehicle, you're solely responsible for.
Additionally, he says before getting behind the wheel, they must also know the rules of the road.
The driver of a motor vehicle must be licensed. He must be a licensed person. Must be the holder of a valid insurance certificate. The vehicle must be licensed. In the event you're involved in an accident or if you're stopped for any infraction, you can be ticketed, 1 for unlicensed vehicle, 2 for uninsured vehicle, uninspected vehicle, and the person who gave you permission to drive that vehicle can also be ticketed for those offenses.
And for teenagers with permits only, he says,
once you are the holder of a permit, you must be, if you're driving, you must drive with a person that is a holder of a driver's license, and that person must be seated next to you. Under no circumstances are you to drive a motor vehicle alone. being the holder of a provisional driver's license.
Now, speed is often a factor in most traffic fatalities. He is urging young drivers to buckle up and pay attention to the speed limit, and note that speeding does not shorten the distance, it shortens life.
In the township or in the settlement, the speed limit is 20 miles per hour. On the highway is 30 miles per hour for bus and trucks and 45 miles per hour for cars and motorcycles. And where there is no sign posted, for example, like between the West, 8 Mile Rock and West End, the speed limit is 30 miles per hour.
An American man who was found in possession of a firearm and ammunition will spend the next 12 months in prison. Police on Abaco arresting the American man after a .380 pistol and 5 live rounds of ammunition were found in his luggage at the Leonard Thompson International Airport. The incident taking place around 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Security officers at the airport made the discovery during a routine screening process. The American man was taken before the magistrate's court, where he was formally charged. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 12 months in prison at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Tonight, police are searching for 29-year-old Jimmy Belford of Dundastown, Abaco. They want to question him in connection with murder. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighs 145 pounds, with dark brown complexion and medium build. Members of the public are urged not to approach him as he is considered armed and dangerous. Also from Abaco, police want to question 32-year-old Joseph Carroll of Marsh Harbor, Abaco, in connection with attempted murder. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, dark brown complexion, weighs 130 pounds, slim build with black hair. Once again, members of the public are urged to approach him with extreme caution as he is considered armed and dangerous. If you can help police locate these men, you are asked to contact 911, 919, or the nearest police station. You are watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need.
Come on down. Now.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
It's dancing time, so Freeport, get ready for a Rake and Scrape Reloaded Part 4 with Songbird, Veronica Bishop, Bahamian artist Papa Smurf, and Mellow D. It all goes down Saturday, June 25th at No Holes Restaurant, Bar and Lounge, Settlers Way. Improve your home or property's curb appeal in life with power and soft washing from Discount Fencing and Pressure Cleaning Services. Roofs, driveways, fascia board, boxing, residential, and commercial. Call 646-6180.
Shop the 50% off selected items end of season sale going on now at Pandora, Port Lucaya Marketplace.
Pizza Hut Freeport is bringing you savings this summer. Order a large one-topping pizza with a 2-liter Coke along with our newest dessert, the Pineapple Tart, for just $22.50, VAT inclusive. A delicious pizza, 2-liter Coke, and a Pineapple Tart to satisfy your sweet tooth. Available for carry-out, delivery, and curbside to go. Call us at 352-9191 downtown or 373-8500 East Sunrise Highway. Pizza Hut Freeport, for the love of pizza.
Come on in and welcome to the Soft Spot, where we make your favorite space your favorite place. We We offer a variety of home goods. We have comforters, sheet sets, throws, we have pot sets and dishware. We also have bathroom mats and towels, shower curtains, and anything to decorate the home. Kitchen utensils, living room, every space in the house, we have it here. We have the body pillows that persons, they often ask about it. And so we have the body pillows here, and we have the bamboo pillows as well. And it's aloe vera for persons that have allergy. Very good for persons with allergy. Our store hours is Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're located at shop number 31 in the Raven Mall. The phone contact is 441-2710.
It is the Commonwealth's highest consultative and policy-making gathering. And ZNS is taking you with us all the way to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the vodka.
Leaders from 54 Commonwealth countries will gather to highlight and achieve some of its biggest goals under the theme Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovation, Transforming. Be sure to tune in from June 20th through the 25th on the Bahamas Tonight, beginning at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And welcome back. June is known as National Cancer Survivors Month, and tonight we have the incredible story of a Grand Bahama woman who won her battle with stage 4 breast cancer and liver cancer. The survivor says it was her family's faith in God that saved her life. Simone Davis has this story.
Melanie James is a woman who wears many hats. She's a wife, a mother, a devoted member of her church, and an insurance manager. She's always been well-rounded and considerably healthy until one day she got the most devastating news of her life. During a routine checkup, Melanie was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
When I was diagnosed at 1 or 2. When I went to Cleveland Clinic, they asked me to come back. And you know, the Bible says that life is in the blood. And I did a scan, and I was told that my cancer was actually stage 4. And so I had cancer to my breast, my liver, and my lymph node.
Although receiving that news was devastating, she says telling her family about her diagnosis was the hardest thing she's ever done.
Even if it was for me to go, I know they were in good hands. They knew the Lord, so they would be able to stand knowing that God is able. And so a song came to my mind, whatever my God ordains is right. And so we know that He ordains the end from the beginning. And so if it was for me to die, if it was for cancer to take me, I had to resign myself to that.
While focused on healing, she did not take her diagnosis as a death sentence because she recognized that her journey was only the beginning of her testimony.
My mother called, did not know anything. And she said to me, she said, Melanie, do not believe the report of the doctors. Believe the report of the Lord.
During chemotherapy treatment, Melanie James received that unexpected but miraculous report from her doctor. She says that is when she knew that her family had passed the test of faith.
In my first treatment, it went well. I was able to go back home. I was able to exercise. I was able to run. I was able to eat. I was well. When I went for my second treatment, Simone, my oncologist, Dr. Samuel, who was the chief for the oncology department, said to me, Melanie, I need you to do another scan. I can't believe your blood work. And so he said, on your third visit, I need you to come in a day before, do your blood work, so I'll have your results. And we did that. And I can say to you, Simone, there was no cancer to my breast, there was no cancer to my liver, and there was no cancer to my lymph node. And so, all the glory.
Doctors recommend that once you reach the age of 25, cancer screenings should be part of your regular routine checkups. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
What an amazing story of survival. Your Thursday evening sports check is up next with Jay Philippe.
I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Well, we have a whole lot of sports for you today, but let's begin with the B3A's Track and Field Championships, which is expected to begin this weekend in New Providence. A number of athletes from Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini will be in action.
We have a team, a contingent of like 7 or 8. We have Terrence Jones coming next week from Texas Tech, and his coach is coming as well. And you know, it's going to be a fantastic event. You know, we have Aaron Barr in the 15 and the 8. You know, we got Michael Stiles out there. We got Stephen Allen. You know, what we did different this year is we brought more younger ones now. We're like Simone Martin and Sandra Russell. They are the outstanding under 11 girls. And hopefully we could go over there and show them what we got.
In the youth division, we have Isaiah Wright. He is number 1 ranked under 13 boy in the 800 meters. Shatalia Dorset. She is the Carifta silver medalist in the 100 meters. And Keon Williams, he is one of my seniors.
Now in the WNBA, Jonquel Jones has been selected to start once again in the WNBA All-Star Game. Jones is the reigning WNBA MVP and winner of the 2018 Sixth Woman of the Year and 2017 WNBA Most Improved Player Award. Jones is pacing the Sun with a 15.1 points per game and ranks 3rd in the league with 9.4 rebounds per game. Switching gears now, the YMCA Summer Camp commences June 27th through August 5th. Executive Director Kieran Pinder Johnson says they will be adding cricket to the list of activities for the campus.
For the first time, we're going to introduce cricket. Yeah, you know, cricket is our national sport, and most people don't know that. So this is our way of introducing the sport to the younger kids, and hopefully that can fruition into their adult lives.
And finally in sports, in minor league baseball, Grand Bahamian Warren Sanders has been assigned to the Syracuse Mets from the Brooklyn Cyclones. The 23-year-old has 22 hits, 9 runs, and 5 RBIs on the season. The Mets are currently playing in the middle of a 6-game series against Rochester Red Wings, a AAA affiliate of the Washington Nationals. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
For designer shoes, sandals, accessories, and handbags, visit Steppin' Out, now at 2 locations, Old Sam's Plaza, Freeport, and Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, Nassau. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority Community Talk Expo is back. Join them this Tuesday, June 28th at 6:30 p.m. at City of Life, formerly the Bowling Alley.
Hey there, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt from the Fitness Connection, and welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you helpful tips to help you along your health and fitness journey. Today we're at Nesbitt Fitness in the Raven Mall, and I'm going to give you tips to get on track and stay on track. specifically with your workouts. Tip number one is to set a goal and to make a plan. You don't want to go into it blind. Don't just wander in the gym or follow along with someone and try to mimic them. Make sure you have the proper guidance and information before, and make sure you know exactly what you want to do, whether it's I want to lose 10 pounds in a month, have what your goal is, weight loss, weight gain, and then a time frame attached to it, so you know exactly what you're aiming towards. You can go further when you know exactly where you want to go. Tip number two is to get a partner or a trainer. This is specifically important if you're going in a gym, if you have no experience at all. This can help prevent you getting injured, for one, and if you're injured, of course, you can't continue on your journey, so you want to make sure that you have the proper information, someone guiding you, and also a partner can help you to stay motivated and stay on track on the days when you don't feel like going. Your partner can be the one to give that extra push to get up and get it done. Tip number three is to start now. Don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait for that perfect Monday when you feel the best, when you get all the right gym outfit, the right shoes. Just get started. You can figure out the small details afterward, but the important part is to get started, get in there, and it's never going to be a perfect time, so just get it done. And last but not least, if you fall off, you've had a bad meal, you missed a couple workouts, you felt sick, make sure just hop back on and get on track. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips were helpful for you, and make sure that you use them. If you haven't started, if you're on your journey already, make sure you use them to help you get better every day.
It is the Commonwealth's highest consultative and policy-making gathering. And ZNS is taking you with us all the way to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the vodka.
Leaders from 54 Commonwealth countries will gather to highlight and achieve some of its biggest goals under the theme Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovation, Transforming. Be sure to tune in from June 20th through the 25th on the Bahamas Tonight, beginning at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
Your number one news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Jenny Bethel Roll, you are our Facebook friend today. We want to say thank you so much for your support. Hey, Jenny, I know who that is. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. We do ask that you stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
In the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More from the nation's chief attending CHOGM 2022. The budget passes in the Senate. Police trying to locate a missing teen. And in sports, Jazz Chisholm continues to shine for the Marlins. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Jimenita Swain. Thanks so much for joining us. The message of women's empowerment and violence against women brought to the fore by wife of the spouse, Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis, who is on the ground in Kigali, Rwanda. The issue, one of major emphasis during the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting this week. Our Shashina Rowe-Farquharson highlighted ways in which the country must continue to fight for women's rights.
The theme for today was no more, putting up your hand and saying no more.
The wife of the Prime Minister, as well as many others, attending a high-level side event on violence against women and girls. The session attracting a large audience.
The room was full of men for the first time today. So the interest, the global interest has peaked by the presence of all those men there who are leaders in their countries and who have decided that they're going to step up in the fight against domestic violence. No longer are we just accompanying our husbands. They have programs for the spouses because women issues front and foremost in every country in the world. The elevation of the woman, and especially where we're working towards sustainable development goal number 5, which is gender equality. Here, they keep teaching you that gender equality is not women taking over. Gender equality is both men and women being uplifted.
But she says the discussions also provide solutions on how women can be given a seat at the table and be provided more opportunities in entrepreneurship.
Because we still have we don't have enough women in businesses. We have, even if they're in businesses, they have the smaller businesses like micro-type businesses. We wanted to see more. We want our governments to give women 50% of the funding to increase the participation in businesses. I think here in Rwanda, they gave women, one of the ways they elevated women is by giving them collateral-free loans.
Rwanda, the country where CHOGM 2022 is being held, is #1 in the world with the highest percentage of women in government.
Here in Rwanda, played a very pivotal role in this country turning around after the genocide that they suffered in 1994. I pay tribute to the First Lady of Rwanda and her policies and her programs, and and making sure a lot more women come in to governing the country.
And while the Bahamas has made history recently with the most women ever being appointed as cabinet ministers under the Davis administration, First Lady Davis called it a proud moment, but she says we still have a lot of work to do. Reporting from Kigali, Rwanda, I'm Shashina Rolf-Arkeson.
In other news, the 2022-2023 budget passed this afternoon in the lower chamber. Senators spent much of the day analyzing the various heads contained in the budget. The national budget aims to rescue the domestic economy and bring relief to Bahamians and residents facing rising fuel and food prices. The new fiscal year opens July 1st, 2022. Well, ahead of Thursday's discussions, the Economic Affairs Minister, Senator the Honorable Michael Alkitis, notes that with the conclusion of the debate exercise, now the real work begins.
This is part of the job, but the real work begins because the real work is in the execution. The real work is in putting in place and effecting the enforcement measures, for example, to ensure that we are able to collect the government revenue. To be able to make sure that those investment projects that are in the pipeline and things that are under MOU can come to a conclusion and become operational, and we can feel the impact of it on the economy. So the real work begins when we leave this place.
Also from the Senate, a wave of Cuban migration on the rise, according to Attorney General Ryan Pinder. The revelation coming during a morning session in the upper chamber, where Pinder pointed out the recent trend, referencing astronomical numbers in a recently released Miami Herald article. Pinder says the increase in Cuban apprehension comes as more migrants flee to the United States.
Typically, you would see them primarily be from Haiti, but we're seeing a significant amount of Cuban migrants coming in now, and we think that we have to redeploy immigration officers throughout the archipelago to better fight this. Our numbers of illegal migrants and seizures and repatriations is through the roof, frankly, and much higher than we've ever seen before. And so this is an effort to try to mitigate that activity.
Answering to an intended 33% increase in expenditures for living accommodations under the Department of Immigration, Pinder says the intention is to redeploy more officers to better guard the southern borders.
As we see an increase in illegal migrants coming in, we would want to put immigration officers on site. We would want to better operationalize the base in Inagua. One of the plans that we have in the Office of the Attorney General is to ensure that the remote court facilities are adequate there to be able to have magistrates be able to come in. But you do need the immigration officers there.
Washington and D.C. Ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones, met with Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia yesterday in his Senate office. The senator made history a year ago when he became the first black senator from that state. Senator Warnock won a runoff election that flipped control of the Senate at one of the most pivotal moments in recent American history. Well, still to come, Infonox celebrates 5 years in the Bahamas. That story and so much more on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mayers and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
They say that when it hits you. A feeling so strong that it's impossible not to give into. A juicy piece of KFC to feel elevated by the aroma and to free fall into its exciting flavor. Some call it love, attraction, desire. We call it KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Kids, let's go! Sean, what are you doing?
I solved it. We'll buy our life insurance policy from this company and then go over here and get our home insurance. Then get our motor policy from right over here.
Or we could just get it all with CG Atlantic. Save a lot of money and effort.
They do it all? Even pensions?
Even pensions.
We're like a husband that doesn't overcomplicate everything. CG Atlantic. Good like that.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Thanks for staying with us. 52 new COVID-19 infections have been recorded on the latest dashboard from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. 39 of those cases are on New Providence, 8 on Grand Bahama, 1 case apiece on Eleuthera, Exuma, and the Berry Islands, and 2 cases reported on Andros. 45 people are currently hospitalized, all moderately ill. The active case count stands at 674. Well, police are seeking the public's help in locating missing teen Destiny McKinney. Take a close look at your television screen. The missing 16-year-old was last seen leaving her Camp Road home as she headed for school on Monday, June 13th. She is described as having a dark brown complexion, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, and is of a medium build. Anyone with information on Destiny McKinney's whereabouts can contact police at 502-9991 or 2 or 502-9968 or 71. In other news, Bahamas Power and Light is in full hurricane preparation mode as teams are on the ground here in the capital, carrying out work to safeguard equipment and minimize power cuts should a storm make landfall. Carla Palmer reports.
Hurricane preparations by Bahamas Power and Light have begun in earnest.
Preparations for hurricanes commence not during the summer periods. It starts 6 to 7 months. It started 6 to 7 months ago.
Sterling Moss is Director of Field Operations and BPL's National Emergency Management Agency representative in charge of the Electricity Corporation's Hurricane Preparedness Program. Servicing thousands of customers throughout the country, Moss notes how essential preparation is to not only maintaining power supply, but protecting the service and limiting the amount of interruptions in power cuts to consumers as much as humanly possible.
And during that time, the philosophy is, if a storm hits, what will we need to recover? So that means surplus stock of items like poles, overhead conductor, pole-mounted transformers. And so those have been shipped and are sitting in stock.
Already, tree trimming is underway. It's a primary factor in BPL's hurricane preparations, as many of the trees are extremely mature and require specific equipment that in many instances only BPL provides.
BPL will come into an area and trim trees. We need the customers, once we've cleared the trees, to keep those trees trimmed. Our cycle of trimming we would want to maintain is about at least 2 to 3 years before we go back into an area. So customers can not plant trees that would be prone to, like palm trees, under power lines. Trees should be planted at least 10 feet away from the power lines. When they're trimmed, the customer is required to make sure those trees are cleared. Customers have service lines that run from the street pole to their homes. They should ensure that those trees are cleared and stay away from the power lines, because in a hurricane, what happens is those trees that are caught up in the service wire rub them and could cause a breakdown in the insulation, cause a fault that impacts the other neighborhood, the neighborhood as a whole, but also they prolong outages as well. And so customers need to be aware that they should keep those systems clear.
While the technical work is going on, so too are the contingency planning meetings, focusing on preparedness before, during, and following weather systems.
As a unit in the Bahamas Power and Light Company, an annual hurricane preparedness meeting, we have a document prepared on step-by-step response. We review who all are the various responders, we review the strategy, and we talk about contingencies. And those contingencies would mean be based upon the type of a storm and approach. If it's a wet storm, then we are going to disconnect areas of the grid that are subject to flooding. Recently, we disconnected Yamacraw during recent floods because they pose safety and serious risk to customers. There could be electrocution events, so we know that in our plan, we will look at that system. And then if it's a windy storm, we're going to disconnect the overhead systems from our network. And depending on the storm's magnitude, we go to complete shutdown, and then we review as well how do we come back out of a storm in a way that is efficient, that restores the bulk of the customers quickly.
Customers are also being forewarned to stop overloading your electrical systems. And for those of you with high fencing or walls, to consider that BPL workmen may have to access your property to rectify problems. They need access. These are some of the issues they say that hamper them in their restoration efforts. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
From education, thousands of report cards were set to be collected today, but due to technical issues with the LMS system, Director of Education Marcellus Taylor says those collections for public school students from grades 1 to 11 have been delayed 2 weeks. While he apologized for the inconvenience, Taylor says once the initial issues are addressed, he anticipates the end product will be an improvement. He says several factors led to the delay of the timely distribution of those report cards.
We have on one end some systems issues around the transfer of grades from the LMS to the EMIS. And then in some instances we have some user error, where people haven't necessarily put the grades in, or they haven't put them in correctly or whatever. And then we have one or two design way the report card will present. And so rather than send out something that has, mistakes and errors and so forth, we want to take the time to make sure that we get this all sorted out so that when we present a report card, it's a report card that is reflective of the high standard of what schools are used to doing.
Well, Taylor says with the move from a manual to a digital system and the fact that they are also developing it as they go along, they expect some growing pains. The education director says he's optimistic all issues will be resolved within 14 days and the public will be notified when those report cards can be collected.
There will be one or two hiccups along the way, but at the end of the day, we are resolved and committed to advancing what we do in education to digitize these things. And at the end of the day, even some of these same report cards will be able to be emailed to parents. And so that would be some benefits that we didn't have before. Also, once people begin to use the LMS more, put the grades in on time and so forth, all of these processes will become smoother, easier for the teachers, and easier for parents because parents will have access and they can see grades as the term moves along so that everyone will be aware of what's going on. Everyone can support the children as they need to.
Meantime, Bahamas Union of Teachers says it's in agreement with the report card being delayed, but President Belinda Wilson says the union will see if the 14-day deadline is achieved. She calls on education officials to admit that the LMS EMIS system had failed teachers and students, and they must seek to have a proper operable virtual platform implemented. She labels it sad that students are being disadvantaged. Wilson says unprecedented times call for creativity and sustainability. Also making news tonight, local fintech service provider Infonox, a subsidiary of the IX Capital Group, celebrating 5 years in the Bahamas. That celebration taking place at the Balmoral Club, Cable Beach, Thursday. Infonox CEO Anthony Stubbs says 5 years in and the business continues to soar.
During the pandemic, when everybody was locked down and jobs were pushing people to home, more persons were looking for alternative means to make money. So the fintech space has had a boom, economic boom actually, with online trading platforms. People have more time to explore the trading area. The DARE Act, however, was a great initiative on the Bahamas government and the regulators to actually try to own the space and carve out regulation. Regulation means that customers or clients or people who are trading on these different various platforms have someone they can turn to for resource in the event they're uncertain about any unscrupulous companies that may come in the environment.
Our company managing director Robert Berkeley also using the opportunity to present to government a $50,000 investment towards educating young people in the fast-growing industry. Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, was on hand to receive the gift, noting that players such as Infonox have been key in establishing the country as a hub for fintech solutions, with the government remaining committed to establishing legislation such as the DARE Act to facilitate business development in the sector.
In the Bahamas, you have amazing opportunity with fintech. But what we've got to do, work with the businesses and with the government, is to ensure that that education part becomes part of it.
It's attracting the digital asset business to our country. That's going exceptionally well. Our Prime Minister has led the way in this innovation. So in addition to our natural attributes of political, legislative, and regulatory stability, we now add innovation to our list of attributes that keep us on the cutting edge. We will continue to press forward in this space, and it will continue to be an important sector for our country.
Now to news from the courts. An American man has been sentenced to 12 months behind bars after a search of his bag revealed an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Police in Abaco made the arrest at the Leonard Thompson International Airport sometime before 2 p.m. Tuesday. According to police, security guards were screening passenger luggage when the firearm was discovered. The man identified himself as the owner of the luggage, and when police conducted a search in his presence, they recovered a .380 Kel-Tec pistol with a magazine containing 5.380 live rounds of ammunition. He was arrested and appeared before the magistrate's court, where he pled guilty. The man is set to serve a year at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Time to save with a new perspective, where the focus is on values and principles, and people are just as important as profits, where we believe in democracy and equality, and your vote counts, where profits are shared with our members, who are also our owners, to ensure that by working together, we all win, where education of our members and training our staff are one of our highest priorities, where we serve our members' needs through continued cooperative initiatives because of our concern for the communities in which we live. Join more than 40,000 Bahamians who have made the smarter choice. Join the movement. Join a credit union. People helping people to help themselves.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Here we go again. We're talking more bang for your bucks. BTC's new super combo plans give you free WhatsApp and so much more.
Everybody you know has a smartphone, and if they have a smartphone, they're using WhatsApp. So, we thought, why not make WhatsApp free in our supersized combos? And that's just what we did. So now our $12, $15, $20, and $39 combo plans have WhatsApp full. But that's not all. These value and supersized combos have also received an upgrade to provide more value for money. Who doesn't like more value for money? Our $4 and $7 combos have unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Unlimited. We have rollover data. And our $12, $15, $20, and $39 combos are now just unlimited. Anywhere local and international calls to the US and Canada. Unlimited. Texts and rollover data as well. So if you want to enjoy a limitless experience, purchase one of our combo plans today and take a spin. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
So, prepaid customers, what are you waiting on? Purchase one of our super combo plans today and begin experiencing limitless value for your money. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Today is a red letter day, a culmination of 6 months of negotiations between ZNS and Flow TV to have ZNS broadcast on the Flow TV network in the Turks and Caicos Islands. An overwhelming demand for ZNS led to the partnership, with both sides pleased to bring this to fruition.
To have the signing of this MOU that allows us to forge even better alliances and relationships allows for the Broadcasting Corporation to have an extension of its wings into this very familiar turf, and also allows for some level of diversity and also cultural diversity in our programming and formatting at the corporation.
This has been a long process for us. We've tried this before and was unsuccessful, so it is a huge step for Flow TV and Turks and Caicos. As you know, Bahamas and TCI, we're brother and sister. We're one family, and the news in the Bahamas is important to families here. So seeing it fit to have ZNS on our TV program is something that is monumental for us. And hopefully 1st of July, we will be live and on air.
I just hope this is the impetus for us to do a little more projects in the Turks and Caicos Islands, to look at not only having ZNS on your network, but to have stories and programs on the network from the people in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Well, as the signing marks the expansion of the ZNS network signal internationally, as another signing is to be expected, or executed rather, tomorrow. Well, also making news tonight, a service of Thanksgiving in commemoration of the 90th birthday of Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling, taking place tonight at Christ Church Cathedral. That's where we find our Lloyd Allen. Good evening, Lloyd.
Well, good afternoon, Jiminita, and good afternoon, Bahamas.
It's a service of Thanksgiving taking place at the church here this afternoon. It's ahead of the 90th birthday celebrations for Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Marguerite Pindling. And of course, just ahead of the start of this service at 6:30, a number of dignitaries arriving, including Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, former Prime Minister Perry Christie, along with other cabinet ministers and other noted persons throughout our society. Now, of course, it's considered a star-studded event tonight, as many persons have contributed to putting together this 2-hour-long service here at Christ Church Cathedral. Of course, this service is presided by the Right Reverend Leish Boyd. Officiating is the Very Reverend Harry Bain. Director of Music is Adrian Archer, and a number of choir selections, which include the groups the High Groove Singers, along with the Bahamas National Youth Choir. Now, of course, keep in mind that Dame Marguerite's birthday is officially on Sunday, and so, of course, this is another event just ahead of that birthday. We encourage all of our viewers to continue watching ZNS News, especially on Sunday, for a special feature where we'll be discussing the family and life of a woman who has impacted so many. But of course, for tonight, reporting here from the Christ Church Cathedral here on George Street for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks, Lloyd. Graduation fever is in the air nationwide as hundreds of students prepare for the big moment after spending 6 years at the same school and building relationships with teachers and friends. There are some who prove they required something different. As our Lloyd Allen shares in this 2-part alternative education feature, homeschooling may be an emerging trend in education, but essential in helping those who need the extra push in discovering their hidden potential.
Celeste always struggled with math from primary school.
For most parents, upon the arrival of a child into the world, hopes are high when it comes to possibilities of their future. The same stands true for mother Melissa Darville. Darville says although a single mother, her daughter performed well during her formative years, but once she began junior high, a shift happened.
Her entire primary school life, I was always pushing her. So she was always maintaining her grades, but it was always a struggle. What we found when she went to grade 7 and grade 8, she was still struggling with the math. And it was because she didn't have the strong base skills in mathematics. And that caused a behavior problem because she didn't want to look like a failure in school, so she started acting out and just falling with the crowd that was just, all into games.
17-year-old Celeste agrees, saying she suffered from the teenage stigma of trying to fit in.
When I first went to high school, like a big high school, there was like a lot of kids, and everybody already seemed to know each other, and everybody had like these cliques, and so I was always like shifting around, trying to fit in with everybody. I was like a quiet person, and everybody liked me, but I wasn't really I was like friends, more like acquaintances, I guess. And I would talk to people, but I still felt kind of like an outcast.
It was at this point her mother made a shift, transferring her to a new school and praying for a turnaround. Darville says that's the best decision she ever made, aligning her daughter with educator Dr. Deborah Campbell at Alternative Learning Institute, who saw Celeste as more than a problem child, but one in need of intervention and motivation.
Preteens can go and act as if they're in a college situation where they're on top of everything and you don't reprimand them and, and you're expecting them to be mature when actually the brain isn't really developed for that yet. And so what I liked about her moving was that Dr. Campbell she focuses on the psychology of a teenager.
Over the course of 4 years, Darville says the new approach proved key in transforming her daughter.
She had little sessions, I don't know if she called them therapy, but in the afternoon she would pull the groups and then she would talk about these life things that they need to worry about.
Celeste says as the journey through high school is nearly complete, her next chapter now appears brighter.
Well, I'm hoping to attend Barry University, and I wanted to take up English, writing, creative writing, literature. My English teacher always told me that I could be a writer if I want to be. And so I want to try to pursue that.
In part 2, a conversation with Dr. Deborah Campbell, sharing from an educator's perspective of the homeschool environment. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
In other news, approximately 30 contestants have signed up to compete in the Squash Club tournament this week at the Four Walls Squash Club on Village Road. Crystal Darling tells us more.
It's not about trying to be better than somebody else. It's about trying to be the best you.
That's the attitude former Bahamas squash champion Lester Cox says he walks into competitions with. Squash is a sport that engages the entire body, and there's a lot of action at the Four Walls Squash Club. In fact, it's the only available place with courts for the physical activity on the island. The facility recently reopened after attempts to kick things off in 2019 when the pandemic interrupted plans. And after several months of operation, this week they're hosting their first club tournament. Four Walls concierge Shannon Lightburn tells us how members are preparing for the competition.
Definitely just a lot of practice. People come in, they like message each other and say, do you want to come in to play today? And they come in and they play and they practice. And so we've seen a lot, like an uptick, and there's a lot of people coming in to practice because they want to really get their game up before the competition starts.
The squash club was built in 1975 by Keith Parker and was a stomping ground for many of the sport's top athletes. President and CEO of Four Walls, Michael Fields, recalls the glory days in a stroll down memory lane.
The Bahamas actually dominated squash in the 70s and early 80s. We had the top squash players. We were the envy of the Caribbean. And then in the 80s, toward the end of the 90s, it really died out. At one point, we had 4 clubs on this island, in the Bahamas. Everybody played the sport. And unfortunately, it died out. And so, we took over the club just before COVID, unfortunately, and we wanted to reintroduce the game because it's a fun way of working out and having fun, and we believe the Bahamas could be back where it was before.
And as they prepare to begin the tournament, coach and the former squash champion says players should keep this in mind.
It's about who is the best player on this given day under tournament conditions. And everybody really, if you're playing a sport, you should want to do that. You should want to see how your game stack up against other people. And this is why these kind of events, they're very important. All of us can be winners because you know what? It's a competition, but it's also a competition against the old you and the new you, right? So at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to have a winner, but everybody can win because competitions are about striving together, about trying to be the best you.
The tournament begins on Wednesday night and ends on Sunday. The public is free to attend. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Crystal Darling.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
To be the best, world-class athletes depend on a live to stay connected. We are committed to promoting Bahamian excellence locally and on an international stage. With hundreds of thousands of people depending on us, we must be a strong, fast, and flexible network. With speeds as fast as Joanna and plans as flexible as Donald, there's a plan suitable for everyone starting as low as $1 a day. With our Freedom Plan, choose the way you want to be connected with a 1-day or 7-day Freedom Plan. With our 30-day Liberty Plan, choose the right bundle of talk, text, and data. And for postpaid, we've got Liberty bundles loaded with talk, text, data, and even roaming included. Alive's hard-working network was built for hard-working people. No matter your goal, we have a plan that you can depend on. We are Alive.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
The King wants you to take a walk on the tangy side with the all-new Zesty Whopper collection at Burger King Nassau. Enjoy the classic Zesty Whopper with 2 types of cheese, zesty sauce, and crispy onions stacked on 100% flame-grilled beef. Or go Zesty on our plant-based Whopper and crispy chicken. All 3 are saucy, crunchy, and full of flavor, and only available at Burger King Nassau. Visit any of our 7 locations and enjoy a Zesty Whopper as a combo or as part of the King's Feast at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
The pandemic has been not so kind to so many people in our community. And when we think about how we fared coming off the pandemic, we're trying to find meaningful ways to continue to give back.
So with the Together platform, it allows people to be able to give back, to make small donation, whether it's $20 or whatever you can give, to be able to give and to help those people who are in need.
My Gateway is the centralized, safe, secure way to access and pay for government services online. Go to mygateway.gov.bs. Click Login. Register with a government-issued ID like your NIB card. Fill in your personal information exactly as it appears on your ID, including spaces, periods, and dashes. You'll only have to sign up once. Now you're ready to request services on My Gateway. Receive an email confirmation for every request and email alerts when your documents are ready. You must have a valid, government-issued ID in order to collect documents. New services will be added every month. My Gateway is fast, easy, and convenient. For more information, visit mygateway.gov.bs.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Another Bahamian makes history. Christine Lightbourne, administrator of the Bahamas Red Cross Society's Abaco branch, has been awarded the Henry Dunant Medal from the Council of Delegates of the International Committee of the Red Cross in Geneva, Switzerland. What's even better, Lightbourne is the first Bahamian to receive the honor. She was chosen based on her work during and after 2019's Hurricane Dorian. The medal acknowledges and rewards outstanding service and actions by an individual, mainly of international significance. The awardee must embody the 7 fundamental principles of the Red Cross, namely humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, voluntary service, unity, and universality. The Red Cross says it's extremely proud of Lightbourne and congratulates her on the achievement. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. We are currently under mostly cloudy skies. Temperature at 82 degrees. The relative humidity 69%. We now have north-northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure at 1,012.6 millibars. That's 29.92 inches. And the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Toll Key. Marsh Harbor, a little cooler at 82 degrees. The Berry Islands, 83. Allenstown, Bimini, 85, 83 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. 83s again in Allenstown, Canal, San Salvador, Rim Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, and that extends right into Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 85, Acklands, 85, Matthewtown, Inagua, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also reporting 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, right through Saturday, you can anticipate light and variable winds with flat seas, wave heights 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Low tide will take place at 11:19 tonight. You can expect another low tide at 11:18 tomorrow morning. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Dial her number, ring-a-ling-a-ling. She knows it's you, but she just let it ring, but you get swing.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You get swing. Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
A family farm made the decision to join the Gladstone Road Farmers Market as a vendor nearly 5 years ago. And according to the daughter of the farmers who started it all, Sharanda Humes Forbes, the support for Augusta Farms has been endless.
We have a lot of Bahamians, local Bahamians, they come out, they patronize. We have tourists, they come. We have other foreigners, they come. Expatriates, they come. We have everybody from society, they come and they patronize.
Forbes' parents started Augusta Farms nearly 20 years ago. And while she admits that it always hasn't been easy being the daughter of farmers, she's happy to see that her parents' hard work has paid off. The proof is in what they offer week after week at the farmers market.
Tomatoes, papayas, kale, bananas, cassavas, beets, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, plantains, everything local.
And everything is grown on the farm?
Right, just about everything. What we don't grow, we get from other local farmers.
While the COVID-19 pandemic had its negative impacts, she believes it drove home the need for Bahamians to purchase and eat locally grown foods.
When the pandemic first started, people was in a rush trying to find stuff, and they was trying to find a lot of local stuff, a lot of ginger and lime and things like that to help to boost your immune system, things like that, bush medicine and stuff like that. Instagram, and then by phone. If you want to come by the farm, you'll have to make an appointment. The number is 428-8083. And again, the name of the farm is Augusta Farms.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgia Bain.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
Drop everything you're doing and head to Super Value and Quality Supermarkets for great savings like Rainbow Corned Beef, 12 ounce, $2.39. Mott's Apple Juice, 86 ounce, $4.99. Fresh Limes, 4 for $1. Olivia Cooking Oil, 48 ounce, $4.49. Chicken Drumsticks, $1.29 per pound. Save, save, save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This segment of the news is presented by Sands, the truly Bahamian beer.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. It's time for Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. Josh Chisholm warming up to welcome Bahamian fans to Heritage Day this coming Saturday at Marlins Park. He was 2 for 3 last night, hit his team-leading 40th home run of the season in the 7th inning, scored 2 runs and drove in 3, helping the Miami Marlins get by the Colorado Rockies 7-4. All this after having the day off on Tuesday.
It's just fun playing with these guys, and I'm just enjoying it. When we work together as a team and we're hitting as a team, it's crazy. It's ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like, we put up runs, we win games, you know what I mean? As we can always put it together in the same inning, this is the result of it, W's.
Bahamas Baseball Association President Sam Rogers headed to the World Baseball Softball Confederation Congress right after Bahamian Heritage Day. Many topics up for debate.
We got to be there to cast our votes as a member of the World Baseball Softball Confederation. We're looking to have some 145 to 150 countries at that Congress. First of all, I know we're supposed to be having Babe Ruth be an affiliate member of World Baseball, like Pony Baseball and Little League. Other things is just the regulate the rules and regulation, because I know they're changing some of the rules, especially for the U10 and under. The baseball, they're putting in new baseball that will accommodate that age bracket.
The Bahamas Karate Championships is slated for this coming Saturday at the Anatole Rogers Gym, kicking off at 10 o'clock. Ranchi Sean Smith is one of the coordinators.
Wide variety of divisions. We start at 4-year-olds up to adult black belts. So it's a very, very, very broad spectrum of martial artists. We have many, many different styles, from Taekwondo to Kung Fu. We got Shotokan Karate. We got Goju. We got Nisi Goju. We have Jiu-Jitsu also would be performing. We expect for a very exciting time. We expect for you to be thrilled to have martial arts reintroduced to the Bahamas again. So far, we had 2 tournaments this year. Both of those tournaments were very, very good, coming back fresh from the pandemic. So martial arts is live, and we expect to thrill you, and we expect for you to come and have an awesome time with us. Right now, the registry forms are just coming in. Just coming in every day. I'm getting calls of persons signing up. We expect probably more than 100 competitors.
Also on for this weekend is the Governor General Youth Awards Duke of Edinburgh Golf Classic at the Ocean Club Golf Course.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Duke of Edinburgh Cup charity golf tournament in the Bahamas. And this charity golf tournament is put on solely for the purpose of providing funding, necessary funding, to the Governor General's Youth Award. Atlantis coordinates the golf tournament in partnership with the GGYA, and we seek to leverage our relationships within the community on behalf of the GGYA. The GGYA can't do all of the programs that it seeks to do without having the support of the business community, of persons with their corporate social responsibility agendas, aiding the GGYA. Some of the prizes include, for the first place and second place twosome teams, they get to travel to the United Kingdom to participate in the Duke of Edinburgh Cup finals on some of the most wonderful golf courses there. And then we have other prizes. We have a Mercedes-Benz, we have staycations, we have jewelry, and then a host of other prizes that persons are eligible to receive if they participate and are successful in the golf tournament.
Bayman wide receiver Michael Strawn getting in those extra reps ahead of training camp with the Indianapolis Colts. He spoke recently with a local television outlet on what he expects on his physical attributes.
Talked to a lot of people, who've been there and done that. For example, Michael Irvin, he told me before I came in for camp, he told me to come in and, just be yourself and take every rep, take mental reps. Whenever you get a chance, go out there and make a play. That's kind of what I come out here and do. A few of the guys came up to me and they told me, you look like Dwight Howard. And I was like, how? I guess it's probably the height or the face structure.
You're right, you sure looks like Dwight Howard. That's going to be it for Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. Have a great evening.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Scores of New Providence residents answered the call to national service as members of 103 school boards. They were sworn in at a ceremony held at the National Training Agency, Gladstone Road, on May 12, 2022. Keynote speaker, Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, Glenys Anna Martin, thanked them for valiantly volunteering to assist schools and, most importantly, students.
I'm certain that many of you already have full portfolios, either in your careers or in your personal lives, or perhaps in both. Yet, you are willing to surrender more of your already limited free time in order to serve the wider community. Be assured, the sacrifice will be worth it, for your new status places you in the unique position to actively contribute to the ongoing success of our schools, to the positive well-being of our nation's children, and to the overall progress of our country.
Hannah Martin also stressed that each school board must work in tandem with the school's principal and other stakeholders, including parents, to ensure improved educational outcomes for the nation's 40,000 plus public school students. For Ed Talk, I'm Vaughn Albury.
Want to stay in the know? Subscribe. Text 819-BMOE. That's 819-2663. Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mayers and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, there is a tropical wave coming off the African coast, looking kind of impressive right now, has a low chance of development, but over time we expect those numbers to increase, so we'll keep our eyes on that. It would not be perhaps another week or so before it has any impact on our weather in the Bahamas, so we'll keep you posted on that system. Right now, across the Bahamas, weak high pressures in control of our weather. We still have some troughing across the southeast Bahamas, which will continue to fire pockets of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Our forecast for the night, going in for clear skies, and that's primarily for the northwest and central parts of the country. In the southeastern islands, you can anticipate partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms still very likely. Low temperature tonight, 79 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at intervals of clouds and sunshine. High temperature tomorrow around 88 degrees. The extended weather forecast over the next several days, we'll have a bit more sunshine in our forecast right into Saturday. But come Sunday, the clouds roll back in, showers work their way back into the forecast, and that will continue right into Tuesday of next week. Jiminita.
Thanks, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.